Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In the previous part, we were following the story of Mary and the strange letters she received. It seems like her stalker is getting closer and closer. Please continue to follow the story's developments today. Wishing you a happy day, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to hear more interesting stories. Let's start. Sorry for the lack of updates the past 2 days. Nothing really happened until today, and today was super hectic, and I'm still trying to process everything. But in regards to my last update, a lot of you had some very interesting points and theories about my suspects and who you guys think it is. So I actually reached out to my ex, Mark, and asked why he was on the bus. Turns out he has a girlfriend who lives not that far from my place, and his car was in the shop as it usually was, so that's why he was on the bus. After some further investigation, I found out his girlfriend does live in the university campus by my apartment, so I decided I can rule him out. Oh, the bus driver. A lot of people pointed out that as a bus driver, you have a set schedule and don't really have time to stop and stalk people during your shift. For this reason, I'm going to rule him out, but not completely. And finally, Jack. I guess it was silly to think Jack could have been a suspect, considering he's quite old and probably doesn't have the energy to stalk someone. So I ruled him out. You guys also said maybe it was Jen. I have a hard time believing that, just because I'm assuming this stalker is a male, because in his letter, he said another male, insinuating they are in fact a male. Now, on to the events of today. The police informed me that they would not be patrolling my house until something else came up. Apparently they're short-staffed for the night, but I just think they don't want to sit around and wait for someone to come or not come, considering the only evidence I had at this point was some letters and a hooded figure. So I decided to download an app on my phone that takes pictures if there's any sign of motion detection. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name of the app, but just to be safe, I'm not going to. I propped my phone up on my bedroom windowsill because it's right above my front door, and it also faces the parking lot for the apartment building, so I can see if any unsolicited vehicles drive by the apartment. So I put it up there, start the app up, and Jen and I go to sleep. This morning when I woke up, I immediately went over to my phone to see how many pictures, if any at all, were taken. Of course, my phone had died in the middle of the night, so I plugged it in to charge, and I waiting a long 3 minutes before I could go on my phone and look at the photos. There were 30 pictures taken. Most of the beginning pictures were cars parking in stalls, and then people exiting their cars and walking to their apartment. But at 2:30, these pictures popped up now. There were 2 or 3 pictures that were identical to these because the app takes a burst of photos. But I'm only going to insert 1 photo of each. The photos looks like someone walking up to the apartment and then just standing there, looking at my apartment. I don't know how long before they left because my phone died, but even if they left right after this, I was still terrified, and still am, obviously. After seeing these photos, I quickly ran outside to see if they had dropped off a letter for me too. And lo and behold, a letter in my mailbox. It wasn't even addressed to me anymore, they just knew I knew. My beautiful Mary, I see you have a guest at your apartment, and here I thought I was going to be all alone with you tonight. With you. But I guess Jen has taken the place of someone else in your life once again. But soon I'll take her place with you, my beautiful Mary. Beautiful, 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 beautiful Mary. I hope Jen doesn't stay too long. I want some US time. Us time. Us time. Us. Love your love. This person has either seen Jen and I sitting in the apartment within the last 2 days, or saw us walking home from the bus stop. I guess after they found out where I lived, it was only a matter of time before they realized I wasn't alone. I'm really glad I'm not alone. But they also aren't mad I have someone here. Maybe it's because it's a girl and not a guy. That's the most logical answer here. They also said Jen had replaced someone in my life. I have no idea what this means. Jen and I met in high school and have been best friends since the 10th grade. She didn't replace anyone. I immediately called the police and they came and took the letter and asked me to send them the app photos, all for evidence. They said it probably wasn't safe for me to stay here anymore, and I should go stay with someone else, as you guys all kept telling me. I told the police what I've been saying as well, that I don't want to stay with someone, have this person find me, and then put the people I'm staying with in danger. But they insisted that it's better for me to go stay with someone because it'll take more time for this person to find out where I am again, therefore giving the police more time to figure out who this person is. So, like most of you said, I am currently staying at my boyfriend's mom's place, where I am writing this. I know me staying somewhere else isn't going to stop this person. I know they'll try and send me a letter at work, and probably steal my apartment. They'll probably wait for me to leave work and follow me back to my boyfriend's mom's place. I also told my boss and the people who worked the front desk to watch out for someone in a hoodie trying to drop off a letter at the front office. And if they do see someone, try to get their attention. Ask if they need anything, just to try and catch a glimpse of their face, and to call the police immediately. I'm taking into consideration some things you guys have been saying. I've been discussing it with Jen and my boyfriend, but there's still a lot of kinks I have to work out. If there's a few days with no updates, it's probably because this person hasn't done anything, so I have no reason to update. But as soon as something happens, whether it be they sent me a letter, or I have another suspect, or to tell you guys what my plan is, I will let you know when I know. I haven't gotten any more letters since the last one, but I'll keep you all updated if I do. For those of you asking, yes, I'm okay. Thank you for being worried and hoping I'm okay. It means a lot that people actually care. I know I said I was going to update you guys yesterday, but there was a family emergency unrelated to this experience and I needed to be there. Everyone is going to be okay. I just couldn't update yesterday. But I'm here now and I'm pretty sure I know who's doing this. It's just a bit of a long story, so I'm sorry if this is a boring update. The backstory is needed though on why I think this person is the stalker. So in my first month of high school, I met this girl named Sierra. Sierra and I met in gym class, and the first time we ever talked, she invited me to a concert. Obviously, I said yes, and we instantly became best friends. She'd stay over at my house for days on end and vice versa. We had so much in common and never not had fun. She was the only person I really talked to at school. She'd always wait for me at the entrance because her bus came earlier than mine, and we'd spend all day together. She was the one who introduced me to Jen, and before you knew it, we were all best friends. Me, Sierra, and Jen. Come the summer after grade 10, Sierra came with me and my family on a camping trip. It was super fun and exciting because I've never had a friend do anything with my whole family like this before. But when Sierra and I would walk around and hang out just the two of us, she would drop hints that she liked me or wanted to do sexual things with me. For example, I said I wanted to do something rebellious because why not? And she suggested we could make out and touch each other. I said no, but when she asked why not, she sounded genuinely offended and mad. I didn't want to tell her I was uncomfortable, because honestly I didn't want to talk about it anymore. So I told her that Jen would be mad that we did. I didn't know what else to say, but we dropped the topic and all was fine. Later that night when we were walking around again, I had pushed her playfully and she didn't take it too kindly because she grabbed me and started to beat me. I was taken aback and pissed off. It was really weird and unlike her. For a while we didn't talk because I was truly mad at her. But eventually we talked it out and she said she'd make it better, so she kissed my shoulder. She started to kiss my neck too, but I was extremely uncomfortable. So I said I was tired and we went to bed. On other occasions, she's told me she loved me, and I said I loved her back, 'cause that's what best friends do, but she always said no. I love you, I wouldn't know what to say to it, so I'd respond with, well, obviously, I'm awesome. She'd talk about other sexual things, but at the time, I never thought anything of it. Fast forward to the middle of 11th grade. Me and Jen had started getting closer, and Sierra has started drifting away from the group. Not because we excluded her, she just became more distant. It could be because I kept turning her down or other personal things. I didn't know. One night I was at her place, and she asked me what I thought of drugs. I asked her what kind, and she said all of them. At the time, I wasn't a fan of any drug. I get weed now. I don't smoke it 'cause I'm allergic to the hemp seed, but I don't hate it like I did when I was in high school, so I told her that. When I asked her what she thought, she said the same as me. I thought it was some random question until later that night I saw a bag of weed and cocaine in her backpack. I was going to get a deck of playing cards when I saw them. I was mad, beyond mad. My best friend lied to me, and worst of all, she was doing drugs. When I confronted her about it, she just stayed silent. I told her I didn't want to be friends with a druggie or a liar. Was I dramatic in high school? Yeah, I told her to stop doing drugs or I wouldn't be friends with her. She said she'd stop and I believed her. Jen had her birthday party a month after that, and she had invited me, Sierra, and her boyfriend. At one point during the night, Sierra was in the bathroom for a bit longer than an hour. We thought she had an upset stomach 'cause we had ice cream cake, and she was lactose. We decided we should check on her. When we opened the bathroom door after knocking and not getting an answer, we saw her on the floor drugged out. It was incredibly scary. We called an ambulance, and they took her to the hospital. Jen and I visited her in the hospital as much as we could, but since we couldn't drive, we couldn't go all the time because our parents had to drive us. Sierra ended up moving to a different school, and we lost touch with her. In a sense, Jen did replace her as my best friend. Now, the other day when I thought about this, I decided to look her up on Facebook and see how she was doing. She became incredibly thin, and I'm assuming is still into drugs. I reached out to her asking how she was, and I still haven't gotten a response. This is the only logical person in my mind, because she was in love with me in high school. The drugs could have messed up her thinking, explaining the repetition, and she's incredibly skinny from what I saw in the Facebook photos. So, many of you said I should leave a letter for this person and try and meet up and set it up with the police. So I worked out a plan with the police I've been in contact with, and tomorrow I'm going to my apartment and putting a note in my mailbox asking to meet me there. I'll put an attached image on the end of this update tomorrow when I print out my note so you guys know what it says. I really hope this works to catch this person. I just want all this to be over. Update 1:43 p.m. This is the letter I'm going to leave in my apartment's mailbox tonight after work. Hopefully she sees it by tonight. I'm sorry for the long wait for this update. I needed some time to process what happened and figure out exactly how I would word everything, and I still needed some information from the police. Thank you for everyone asking how I'm doing and for being worried. Like I said before, it feels comforting to know people care. This is the last update for this series, thankfully. I'm glad for all this to be over. So the day I went to bring my letter to my apartment, I bussed there, and my boyfriend's mom was going to meet me there so I could drop it off and just go. We did this because my apartment is closer to her house than my work, and since she would be at my apartment already, there would be no chance of me being there alone. But when I got off the bus, she wasn't there. I called her and there had been a huge accident on the main road and everyone needed to detour, so she was going to try her best to get there as soon as she could. I was pretty nervous, but I had my keys to my apartment so I could stay inside with the doors locked until she got there. I walked up to my door and put the envelope into the mailbox. I went to unlock the door when I heard movement inside my apartment. I froze. My entire body went completely numb. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. I stayed so still for about 30 seconds when I heard footsteps from inside. I quickly called 911 and told them to get here as fast as they could. I also called the 2 policemen personally telling them to get here. When I hung up the phone, I decided I might as well go in and confront this person. I was absolutely terrified. So scared at the thought of someone in my apartment, even though I locked it before staying at another place, terrified at the fact that I didn't know 100% who was doing this. And absolutely terrified of what was going to happen. I felt like I was going to throw up, but I opened my unlocked door and went inside. I walked slowly in and closed the door softly, not wanting to make too much noise. I looked around and surveyed the place before walking over to the kitchen to get a pot that was left in the sink from the day I left. I listened to see if I could hear where this person was coming from. I stood there for about 2 minutes before hearing someone come down the stairs. Again, my body went numb. I felt like I couldn't hear, couldn't breath, couldn't think. It felt like I needed to pee, puke, poop, and pass out all at the same time. I was petrified. The person coming down the stairs stopped at the bottom step, so I couldn't see who it was. "Hello, Mary. I'm really glad to see you came home." I knew that voice. I knew exactly who it was. I knew this person because I knew them better than they knew themselves. Come down the stairs, please. I tried to sound assertive, but my voice was shaky and it sounded like I was about to cry. Mark stepped down the last step, looking at me dead in the eye. I haven't come face to face with him in a long time. This was different than seeing him on the bus, obviously. He looked different, much skinnier from the last time I saw him. His hair was much longer too, like he hadn't cut it in a while. On the bus he has his hair back, so I couldn't really see how long it really gotten. It was longer than his shoulders. "Hello, Mary," he said again. "Mark, why?" My voice was so shaky and quiet, I'm surprised he understood what I was saying. I was trying to stay neutral, but I was scared. "Mary, I loved you even though I was the one who broke up with you. It was a mistake. Mistake. Stupid Mark. I realized that I wanted you back. Because I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you." He talks different than before. When we dated, he never repeated his words. But even compared to his letters, he sounded different. "What happened, Mark? What do you mean? Why do you repeat words? What about your girlfriend?" I was starting to get more confident. "What made you decide that you wanted me back? Why did you think this was going to work?" "I know you hate me. You hate me. Hate me. And I hate me too. Because I let you go. So I didn't want to message you because I knew you wouldn't answer because you hate me. Hate me. I broke up with my girlfriend after I found out where you lived. Where you live. That's here. I'm here. He was starting to get excited, but it was scaring me because he kept moving closer with every excited word, but I was running out of space to back up. "And you don't have anyone with you, which means we get to be with each other all by ourselves, and I love that. I love you. I love you. Mary, I love you." I don't know how long it had been since I called the police, but I needed them to come soon. I didn't know what to do. I just stood there. "Do you love me, Mary? Mary. I don't know. I haven't talked to you in a long time. Mary, you have to love me or nothing will work." He lunged at me and I tried to hit him with the pot, but he was fast. He caught my wrist and twisted it behind my back and shoved me up against the wall. It was so fast, like something out of a movie. "Mark, please let go. You're hurting me." I was crying. I accidentally left my backpack on a bus, so I needed to retrieve it the next day, which meant I didn't have my pepper spray. "Mary. My sweet Mary. You have to say you love me. You have to. Because if you don't, what I want won't work. You need to love me. Love me." He kept pushing me with every repeat of a word. I was crying hysterically now. There was only one thing I could think of to do. "I love you too, Mark." He let go of me and turned me around to face me. "Really?" I nodded my head. He smiled huge and pulled my arm. "I needed to stay downstairs so the police can get to us faster. Mark, why can't we stay down here? Sit in the couch or something." "No, Mary. Everything I need for us to be together is upstairs. Upstairs for us." I did not like the sound of that. I didn't want to see what was up there. I tried to pull away from him, but his grip was so strong and tight, there was so getting out of it. Mark let go of me. We should just stay downstairs and talk for a bit before all of this. Please. I kept trying to get out of his grip. When I did get loose, I fell down the stairs and hit my head on the railing. Mary, 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 are you okay? You shouldn't have done that. Mark ran down the stairs to me and tried to help me up, but I was too heavy and he couldn't move me. Mary, 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 get up, please. We need to do this fast. Please, 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 Mary the First, love you. I love you. I love you. I was about to respond when the front door opened and I heard, "Freeze." Mark booked it upstairs and the police ran after him. Someone came to my side asking if I was okay, but I could feel myself passing out. I couldn't really hear anything. Everything was starting to get blurry, and eventually it all turned to black. I woke up in a hospital bed with a splitting headache. One of the police officers was sitting in a chair in my room. He asked me exactly what happened, and I told him just as I told you guys now. The doctors told me I have a mild concussion, but I'll be okay. Yesterday, the police gave me some information about Mark that explains a lot of things. A few months ago, Mark got into a huge car accident. The passenger of the other car was killed, the driver became paralyzed, and Mark suffered from a severe concision. It was the other driver's fault. He was drinking and driving, so Mark was let go. The concussion caused him to become delusional and repetitive with words. He also became more violent and more irrational. His girlfriend tried breaking up with him several times because of his violent nature, but he wasn't getting the hint. When I asked them what was upstairs, they told me there was some lingerie, rope, and a gun. Mark had also pre-written a letter stating that we had killers ourselves to be with each other forever. I'm honestly so happy I fell down those stairs and the police came when they did, because I don't even want to think about what would have happened. Mark is in jail and isn't coming out anytime soon. I have a court hearing to testify against him in April, and hopefully he will be put away for a very long time. I'm sorry if this update is written poorly. I'm very tired and my head hurts and I really just want to be done with everything. Thank you for all the encouraging words while I went through this.